Yes.
All right.
The smart guy. So it's a pleasure having you here today. Yes, definitely.
Can I hear say something for me? Oh yeah, for sure. Likewise. Yeah, man, traffic was crazy, man.
Oh, I'm sure. Listen, it's not the best of parking, correct?
Nah, I got my team downstairs, so we
Oh,
good.
okay. So you're good. Okay.
Yeah,
But the
I wouldn't
traffic,
even been here. I wouldn't even made it here if I was by myself.
yes, the traffic is insane,
And it's
right?
literally yeah.
So how are you?
I'm doing great. I got the No Labels tour. That I was supposed to do 2 more shows
Mm-hmm.
for the seminars, but
Mm-hmm.
due to popular demand, I'm actually expanding the tour and I'm expanding the seminars. So um yeah, so I'm excited about that. I'm sitting down with my team. Got a couple meetings after I leave here, and we're just gonna talk about how to make the tour even bigger.
Okay.
And I'm super passionate about it.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's necessary for content creators to understand how to actually monetize,
Yeah.
because this is generation reparation.
Mm-hmm.
We're in $1 billion, close to $1 trillion industry,
Mm-hmm.
and we don't know how to properly monetize in the industry
Yeah.
that we consume and create and have so much impact and influence in.
Mm-hmm. So true.
Yeah.
So I have to ask you, one of the things that stood out to me was your name, the
hmm
smart guy. Where did you get that name? What does that mean exactly in regards to you?
Yeah, success, motivation, ambition, righteous, truth. So it's an acronym, SMART.
Ah, I love that.
Yeah, yeah.
I love that.
So that's the that that's my name. Um, yeah. So that's
I
what it is.
love that. And let's talk about this. We're going to get right into your story. So, the thing that I'm all about is I believe there is no glory without the story.
Right.
You have a story for us that I
hmm
got to get into. I have to dive into that. One of the things that I heard, just checking out some things on you, was that you had an eighth grade education.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
And so, take me on your childhood and how you get to this place, because okay, this is, when I say a story, I've literally checked you out, like you have
hmm
something to give us today.
Right.
And so, coming from an eighth grade education to where you are today, like how did you get here?
I mean, man, to to make it short, sweet to the point, because
Mhm.
it's God, right? Like,
Love that. Amen.
and going to prison, being homeless, my mother being a drug addict, not knowing my father, um, it just was it was tough, growing up in so much dysfunction.
Mm-hmm.
And when I got to prison, I was in Southport Box, and I'm
When you got to prison, so what age were you when you got to prison?
oh listen, I gotta be careful with the ages and the
Oh,
dates,
okay.
man. I just was
You
young,
you were very young.
very
Were
young.
you
And
were
oh,
you in
and
high school
disclaimer,
still?
disclaimer for all my brothers out there that have troubled past, be careful in interviews, because all this stuff is seeming to be eligible in court.
Mm.
So I'm kind of really leery sometimes with
On it.
time and dates, and
Yeah,
hey,
that's
what color
no
was the
problem.
car now?
Yes, no,
But
we're not gonna get into that.
but
But were you young
I
boy?
was young. I was
Okay.
young. I was young. You know, my first time being in the system, I would say, was about 7. Because my mother
Really?
lost custody of me,
Oh wow.
and from then to now, I grew up in the system.
Wow.
And the change came
Yes.
being in Southport Box.
Mm-hmm.
24-hour lockdown,
Mm.
and I gave up. I gave up on life,
Mm-hmm.
and I just accepted um, just the caveman mentality that I needed to have while in prison. And I laid on the floor dead in that cell, man. I cut somebody, and they had me doing
That's how you got into the
to the
cave, the box.
to the box. Yeah, yeah.
Okay,
So
from the
yeah,
cut.
so are you in prison, right?
Yeah.
You break the law, you go to prison, and
Yes.
then
In the prison, you cut someone, and then you got in
yeah,
the box from that.
yeah,
Oh,
you
gotcha.
you get a
Mm-hmm.
new charge.
Yeah.
And so I just remember just reflecting, and life hit me like a ton of bricks,
Mm.
right? Like a ton of bricks, and the
Mm-hmm.
weight was too heavy because I couldn't run. And a
Mm-hmm.
lot of times, you know, when we're in the hood, there's so many forms of escapism,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like we could hide in the blunt, we could
Yeah.
hide in the bottle,
The
we can
drinking.
hide
Yes.
in our
And
dealings with,
sex.
with women, we can
Mhm.
hide with aggression, just fighting and violence,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
So when you go to prison, you can't run. There's
Yes.
no more windows to look out of.
Right.
You're literally in a room full of mirrors, right? Like
Mhm.
it's like that analogy.
Mhm.
And I had to look at myself, and man, I hated what I saw back, right? I hated that reflection, and I hated the past, and it became heavy. And I just said, okay, when I get out of here,
Mhm.
man, I'm gonna kill one of these correctional officers, and they're gonna either kill me or give me life in prison.
Mhm.
And I just, and I feel like God literally came to me in that cell and just made me
Divine intervention.
$1,000,000%.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like
Mhm.
intervene, right?
Yeah.
Interfered, right?
Yeah.
And the devil wanted me, and God said, not this one, right?
Amen.
And so God kind of showed me that my life had purpose,
Mm.
and he kind of like in my mind, he kind of timelined my past,
Mhm.
and he showed me for every obstacle what I gained from it,
Mhm.
right? The durability, the endurance, the strength, the attitude, I have a will. I'm a fighter, right?
Yeah.
And so God, he made me realize, like, I went through this for this.
Yes.
But
it was
you-
purpose in it.
Yeah, you went through this for this, but this was preparation for this.
Yes.
To prepare you to be
what
where
you're doing.
Yeah, right?
Yes.
And and I say all the time that we're not being denied, we're being delayed.
Exactly.
Right?
Yes. Yes.
And that delay is God's form of
protection.
Protection, but also preparation.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Right? And during that time of delay, God is preparing you for the position that he has created you for.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
And it took me a long time to realize that, and then accept it.
Mm-hmm.
And then now, today, currently, I'm living in my purpose, and everything
Yes.
I went through, it made sense.
Yeah, it was a reason for it. And so while you're in that cell, you had that divine intervention. God spoke to you. You would say you got your greatest revelation in the box where he spoke to
for
you.
sure.
He woke you up from your slumber at that inside of prison. Correct?
100%.
And
Yeah. And again, and I think a lot of people, because there's so much fake people out, because there's so much frauds and there's so much content, we become desensitized
yes.
to hearing stories about God's intervention. And when you go through pain, and you battle with the devil, when you battle with yourself, there's no cure other than that relationship with God. And before going into prison, I had a hard upbringing, so I would consider myself a tough guy, and I felt almost, through my lack of love for myself, it created a false sense of invincibility, because I didn't care about myself, so I wanted to die. I wanted to die, right? So I put myself in so many life or death situations that it created a false sense of invincibility. But God was sparing me. It was God's grace that got me through those scenarios. I remember, robbing people and kidnapping people and doing different things, and Karma catching up with me, and one of the guys catching me at the store slipping, so to say, and he pulled out 2 guns and got him in my face. I said, "Fuck you, suck my dick, kill me."
Oh, wow. Yes, totally.
Right?
And then after that, what happened?
And I wanted to die, right?
You wanted to die.
I meant that, right?
Okay, yes.
And
so you didn't care at that point.
And he
You
looked
were
at me like I was crazy, right? And he just backed up off me, right? And at the time, I thought, I'm just, if people heard about him, whoa, this guy's, he's tough, he's crazy. Nah, he could have blew my head off. It wasn't my time. And
Right.
God,
Oh, so what happened when you told him that? What did he do?
he didn't shoot me.
Wow.
I'm actually here, right? Like,
right. So I wondered, did you tussle? I mean, did you?
There was no tussle. He just looked at me and backed up.
Wow.
And because I was at a store, I never forget this. It was early in the morning. I was at a store. I was in Staten Island, across the street from this is a little high school.
You were in Staten Island?
Yeah. Okay. I was hustling. I mean, so when you're hustling, you got to find
everywhere.
different spots to be moving. So I had a nice little situation, little operation going on over there. And he just hopped out of the cab. It's just like he hopped out of the cab, back into something. And he just was right on me
and he appeared there. But God probably was also allowing you to see that he was with you, because now you're able to share that story.
Yeah. So I'm saying,
yeah,
it took me when I got to prison, See, that's why I said I had a false sense of invincibility, because I
yeah.
thought it was me. I thought it was,
You was protecting yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I
You
didn't.
were so tough.
It was, yeah. So remember, I had a lot of time to psychoanalyze myself, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I said it was a false sense of it was a false sense of invincibility
Mm-hmm.
that came from a self-destructive mindset.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of times when we grow up with abandonment issues and we
Mm-hmm.
grow up in the system,
Mm-hmm.
we don't care about life. We don't care.
Right.
We don't, and we
Right.
do things with that mindset.
With that mindset.
And then that,
nothing to lose.
right.
Yeah.
And with that mindset, you start to have success because you're the only person willing to go the extra mile.
To do the most.
Right. So now what happens is you start to acquire accolades, and you hustling and you getting money, and
Mm-hmm.
now you wanted to die,
Mm-hmm.
but you didn't. So now you feel like, oh, you can't be touched.
Yeah.
But that's really God
protecting
grace. He's
Mhm.
sparing you because he know you're a fool. God
Yeah.
protects fools and babies, right?
Yeah.
So I realized that later when I went to prison, and I broke down and I felt so stupid, right?
Mhm.
I felt so humble in
Yeah.
front of God. I felt
Yes.
like, wow, man, I'm nothing. It was you, it was
Yeah.
you this whole time.
Yeah.
You know, keeping me alive and protecting me even when I
Mhm.
didn't want to be protected.
Mhm.
So I think it's important for people to understand the power of God's grace,
Yes.
also the power of God's wrath,
Yes.
also the power of delayed gratification.
Yes.
Because God works with delayed gratification. The devil works with instant gratification.
Mhm. Mhm.
Right? So that's what I realized and became privy to in terms of living. And I want to backtrack a little bit because you talk about my upbringing, right?
Yes.
The best way to describe it is I got a song I didn't finish yet.
Okay.
It's called Motherless Child.
Yeah.
So it's sometimes I feel like a motherless child. Sometimes I feel like a motherless child. No support from my mother. Sometimes I wish I would have came from a different pussy. C-section. Even in birth, she didn't push me.
Mm.
Every other week, you got a new man in the house. You got the nerve to point to him like he the man of the house. And they all want me to call him dad. They all wanted me to call him dad. So I grew up confused. I got beat until I was black and blue. And you wonder why I'm in school acting a fool, cutting class, picking fights, couldn't follow the rules. Free lunch won't cut it. I'm still hungry. I need food. Hooked up with Daryl. Selling weed now, mama. I'm making moves. Yeah, mama. I'm making moves. You put a pins woman out, left me in the system. Plus, you ain't called back. They ain't love what you call that. If you ain't want a son, mama, shit. You should have left me in that ball sack. But it's two sides to the story. I know, but I ain't having it. Too many demons inside I got to battle with. Fuck whoever trying to play devil's advocate. Y'all don't understand how real this is. I was just a kid. 5. Had to look my mama in the eyes, half sleep, half high. And you wonder why I'm outside, smoking weed, pistol in my pocket, throwing up gang signs. You a junkie, mama. How you gonna demand respect? I guess you beat me because I look like the man that left. A spitting image of my daddy, huh? That's why you slapped me? Can none please you? You ain't never happy. Straight A's on report cards getting ripped. Christmas, birthdays, I ain't get shh. Every man I see you with call you. This is what I deal with. This is what I did. Sometimes I feel like a motherless child. Sometimes I feel like a motherless child. It feels like God cursed me and my brothers because all I do is suffer. And the pain came from my mother. A rose won't grow from this concrete. Roots getting pulled out. Petals getting stepped on. You came home high. Beat me half to death. You said that I slept wrong, but it's bloody tampons, empty bottles of liquor, cracked valves on the same bed I slept on. How the could I sleep wrong? You got me laying on the bed I could barely even sleep on. Bottles on the floor, roaches on the wall. I'm looking at the sky like God, I deserve more, but God gave me this talent. All I wanted was love. My father wanted to hump. My mother thought it was love. But I'm a king, not a nigga, please. Lord, make a missing when the trigger squeeze. I'm only focused on becoming what I gotta be. But I was born drunk, biblical cord filled with Hennessy, right? So the motherless child, that was my life, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that was the beginning of my life. So that beginning is what created the self-destructive mindset because I felt like I didn't deserve to be treated that way. I felt like I should have been loved. I had no control over that initial start in life, right? And then from there, now I'm in the system.
Yeah.
Right. So a lot of times people don't understand. And I had to and man, psychoanalyzing yourself is important, right?
Yeah.
Because people tell you, oh, you got a victim's mindset. You
Yeah.
blaming everybody. But at the end of the day, from a baby to 5, I was dealing with hell.
Mm.
So then there's no one to help you. There's no empathy. There's no nurturing. There's nothing. And then you get in.
Mhm.
Now you put into the system.
Mhm.
The system is not designed to help. It's designed to destroy you. It's a conspiracy to destroy little black boys. So if you destroy the little black boy, he never becomes a strong black man. And if there's no strong black men, you have no community. You have no
Yeah.
leaders in your culture, right?
Yeah.
So that was why I had that I didn't care about myself mindset, right?
Mhm.
But when I went to prison and things slowed down, then God kind of like showed me this blueprint, this plan that he had for me. And God teaches his best lessons through pain.
Yes.
And some of the greatest leaders have to go through
Mhm.
persecution,
Mhm.
trial, tribulation.
Trials and
You have to go
tribulations.
through
You
these things,
gotta go
right?
through it.
Because
Yes.
it helps with your empathy. It
Mhm.
helps with your understanding. It helps with your patience. When I see somebody homeless,
Mhm.
I stop and I want to give them something. Whatever I got, I don't care. I'm tapping my pockets
Yeah.
because
You understand it. You've been through it yourself.
right.
You
So that
sympathize with that.
empathy, right?
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
empathy only
Mhm.
comes from my pain,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
And to be a great leader, you have to have these traits and characteristics.
Exactly. And I'm sure you can identify with broken kids that gone through trauma, right? Like
For
I'm saying,
sure.
you can see them where they are and understand why they're doing the things that they did. Because as I'm listening to you, quoting the lyrics to your rhymes, I'm a bit disgusted to some degree. I have to be honest, because that's a lot of pain for a child to endure. And my thing is, I don't like to hear but see, I understand that God is in the midst of everything.
For
You see what
sure.
I'm saying? But when you listen to the lyrics of the song, the stuff that you were saying, that is, I mean, you had to be traumatized.
Right. And we have to understand, just like you got deadbeat daddies, is deadbeat mommies.
They are, right?
Right.
And people they don't like to highlight that
Yeah.
it can go both ways. It's not just a father.
For sure.
When God blesses you with a child, mother, a mom, or a father, your duty is to nurture, provide, to take care
Right.
of that child.
But and this is why with the No Labels tour, with my seminars, this is why I'm talking about like how to develop a mindset, how to break generational curses.
Yes, come on.
Right?
That people don't
Right?
talk about that,
Right?
and I'm big on that. A lot of people don't recognize. I mean, that's a whole nother story for another day. Okay, we don't have the time. But generational curses.
Oh, we do. It
you
takes 2
tapped
minutes.
into that.
I got the conversation. We done at 3, right?
Yes, we're
Check
done
it
at
out.
3.
So check it. This is the key, though, right?
Yes.
Because now this is why, like, I'm not gonna just come on here and just talk about rap and bars, right?
Mhm.
So not a rap song. That's a page from my diary. That's what's my
Your
life.
life.
Like that was every
Yes.
other week. You got a new man in the house. Like
You went
every
through that.
line was a memory. It wasn't like I
Yeah.
just created it, right?
Yeah.
But the key to breaking generational curses is you have to understand child psychology. You have to understand mindset. This is why I teach people how you think creates how you feel. How you feel becomes an emotion. That emotion becomes a vibration. That vibration becomes a magnet that attracts things to you. Your mind is what creates everything, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, a lot of times in our family, also the willingness to learn what was not taught to you, even if you feel you're too old to learn, right?
Yes.
Being willing to acquire new skills, new
Yes.
parenting skills,
Yeah.
new family skills,
Mhm.
new ways to make money, right? So
Yes.
you break generational curses once you change the mindset of the people who are running the family and the ones who are young that they need to be groomed and prepared to run the family.
Yeah.
Also understanding generational wealth. I like to say living expenses times 4 times 12 times 100 is one generation of wealth. And then saying like, okay, that is the financial goal that we're setting. Whatever our living expenses times 4 times 12 times 100. Okay, that is your first generation of wealth. And then you divide that by 4. That 4 is the people in your family willing to create the streams of income that can create the revenue, that can create the profits to reach that financial goal. Okay. Now, King, you got your phone on you, right?
Yeah.
Do this real quick. Do peace, God. Do 2400, right? 2400 times 4 times 100. What is that number? So like my whole
That's 960,000.
Okay, so it might be most like 9.6 million. So 2,400 times 4 times 100.
Okay.
No, I'm tripping. 2,400
Mhm.
times 4 times 12 times 100. I bet. So that's the that's the number. So every piece of content that I
Mhm.
create is about
That's 1,152,000.
okay, so now if we I think the numbers might be a little off, King, but if we so it's 2,400, right? 2,400. I'm looking at you doing it, right? Times 4, put equal, hit the equal, right? Now times 12, right? Boom. Time I like hold on, what you did. Times 100.
When you do it,
That's 11, yeah. That's 11,520,000. Right.
okay.
So now that is that is the financial goal that
Mhm.
you set. Now you have 100 years of your living expenses times 4. That
Mhm.
times 4 is helps you cover inflation or potential inflation.
Mhm.
Okay.
Mhm.
Now, do you divide that 11.5 million times 4?
Mhm.
Now that's 4 people in your family, 4 different businesses. What's that divided by 4 when you get a chance? Just put 11 million, put 11 times 4. What's 2.8. So right now you got 4 people in your family that needs to create one business that can generate 2.8 million in profits within 3 years. Within 3 years, you just created your first generation of wealth.
Yeah.
Okay,
Mhm.
and then now you have to go to.
But it isn't that easy though, right? They gotta find.
It's
They
easy.
gotta.
No,
But
listen, I got to let me build.
okay.
Let me cook.
Yeah.
Right. So this is my this is what I think is unique about my brand, right?
Mhm.
Because I'm all about adding value, right?
Yeah.
So let's take it back. We talked about we covered the story. We covered the story of motherless child. Cool.
Mhm.
But now, how do we break generational curses?
Mhm.
Mindset.
Yeah.
So we have to study neuroscience. We have to understand how the brain works. How you think creates how you feel.
Yes.
How you feel becomes an emotion. That
Mhm.
emotion becomes a vibration. That vibration becomes a magnet that attracts things to you. So I have to understand how to be in the present. How to be in the present moment. Okay.
Mhm.
Doesn't matter what I went through. I'm gonna be the first one to break the chain, to
Mhm.
break the curse.
Yeah.
Now, we talked about generational wealth. Living expenses times 4 times 12 times 100 divided by 4, right? So now I need to find 4 people in my family. Right now, I'm looking at your family, right? Just 1, 2. Pretty sure you guys got 2 other people, okay, that is competent as well as you guys are, right? And now you say, okay, we need to find 4 businesses that can generate 2.8 million within 3 years.
Mhm.
So within 3 years, we have created generational wealth for one generation.
Mhm. And change the trajectory.
So now let me address the business that you in. So now King has to have a secondary business. You already have this business, which is the radio station.
That's
So
one thing.
but you only need one.
Yeah.
You see?
But I mean, I just have multiple.
But listen, what I'm
Mhm.
saying, you only need one.
Mhm.
Because now you're answering my question, right? You made it seem
Oh.
like it was hard, but it's easy, right? Okay, now check it out.
No.
Now, with you,
No.
what's going to be your thing is radio's advertisement, right? So within the first year, it's not going to take you 3 years. It's
Right.
going to take you 1 year because if you're focused,
Mhm.
now you're going to create ad revenue, right?
Mhm.
You can see 5 million in ad revenue within a year.
Mhm.
Google just got paid 100 billion in ad revenue. Okay. So now how do you monetize your ad revenue? Now, this episode is a good solid 40 minutes. On average, you're doing an hour, right? So in an hour, you have, let's say every 20 minutes, you have 3 ad spaces. Okay. So beginning, middle, break, right?
Mhm.
Beginning, middle, break. So you got every 20 minutes, you got 3 ad spaces. So you got 9 ad spaces for a 1-hour video. Okay. Those ad spaces, you're going to charge $100. So off of So you got $100 for each ad space on your content.
Mm-hmm.
The companies, the advertisers are willing to pay the advertisement if the content is adding value, because if the content adds value, that content has a longer shelf life.
Yes.
So that shelf life is a justification for that advertiser to pay you the $100. So now you just made $900 off for one video without even having views, because that video is, you have a target audience. So you have to understand the target audience, right? And then understand how to connect that that content with that audience, right? And then now when you go to the advertisement, because you got your 3 interns, right? Those 3 interns are the ones who solicit ad space for you. Now every video you drop, you making $900 just off the ad, the 9 ad slots, which is $100 a piece. Then you got your watermark. Your watermark is another $100, so that keeps you at a cool 1,000, right? And then, so all those are the $100 ad spots. Then now you have the in video, right? So the watermark is on the video, then you got the in the video. So if I retake this picture, these headphones, right? You see, that might be $500. So now I need to create 2 $500 in video ad spots. So now you can make $2,000 off of every video that you upload and just add revenue. These are low numbers, okay? If you don't understand the mindset, conducive to accomplishing this, then you'll never do it. You won't even try.
Yeah.
So now you're making $2,000 off of every video. We on time because I see the 26 minutes. You know what I mean? But I want to make sure that the information is given, right? You have 100 videos is $200,000. You see? So every 100 videos that you create, that's $200,000. Right? So now you knock down one, because you got 4 pillars to knock down for your generational wealth. And each pillar is 2.8 million. So you just made 2.8 million in 1 year off of ad revenue. So now you got 3 more pillars. Now we hollering at King. Okay, King, what you got going on? What's your interest, right? So then, whether that what
and quickly, so we got off of mine. We talked about radio, but we didn't talk about all of the different things that I do.
I would say radio because it's the easiest thing, right? You gotta have of course you have different verticals. At the end of the day, you're making content. Everybody makes content. Few people know how to monetize the content. But I'm gonna ask you, King. So what? Tell me give me one brand that you have that you rocking with.
We got Bread Size, a clothing line.
That's it, man. Product, right? So now product, right? But now your product has to be utility, right? Meaning everything you do has to add value. How does your product add value to the person wearing it? That's a rhetorical question, right? So once you identify the value that your product adds to the person that's wearing it, then you have to make sure that value is utility, okay? And once it's utility, meaning when it's raining, there's umbrellas. When it's cold, we want to be warm. So you have once you service a utility and you add value, now you can scale that company. Then it just becomes about units sold, like buy, sell, profit. I buy it for 15, I sell it for 50. My profit is 35. Every 900 units I sell is 31,500. You see? So then now you have your you have your system in place, and then with that system in place, now you can get to that 2.8 million. Now she knocked down one pillar with the ad revenue. You knocked down one pillar with the clothing line or the merch or whatever. And then now the 2 other people in your family has to identify how to knock down their tree as well. See? And yeah.
So that's what you also love to do. You teach how to, like you said, break the generational curses.
NoLabelStore.com.
Oh, gotcha. So you're going to be teaching this on your tour as well. Teaching them how to break generational curses.
I did 4 sold out shows already.
And generational wealth. And how to obtain generational wealth.
So if you go on my Instagram, right? You go on my Instagram and my bio, there's a website. It's called NoLabelStore.com. So those we did Texas, we did Atlanta, we did Boston.
So you're already on this tour.
Yeah.
Oh wow. So see, that's what I want to bring. I want the people to know. So you're already. So how many dates have you done thus far?
4.
4 dates already. And the new year?
No, the end of the last year.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's why I said so the first thing I said when I came here was I said, hey, I'm only supposed to do 2 more shows, but I'm gonna
You're gonna add to the shows already.
I'm gonna extend the tour.
Yeah, you're extending the
because
tour.
because my message is my reaches has increased tremendously.
And who is all on the tour with you? Is it just
It's just
you?
me. It's just me.
Okay.
So it's a seminar. So what I'm doing is I'm teaching. So now I just gave you a crash course on ad revenue for radio, right?
Yes.
So now I would be showing the content creator what is a CPM, right? Cost per milli, but slang is cost per million, but the standard term is cost per milli, MILLE, and that is what. So the standard CPM is supposed to be $20 per 1,000 views, but companies can't pay you what you're supposed to get paid because you don't have the point of contact with the actual company, right? So,
gotcha.
I'll say again. Yeah. So we got 5 minutes, right?
No, neither 5 minutes, but we would come, so we always stop 5 minutes.
Oh, okay.
So you can continue to wrap up that thought.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. So so that's what I'm doing. So my seminar is to teach content creators on how to make money, how to monetize.
And are you also teaching about? This is just like on the business side? It's not like the things that you brought us, like the story and all that. That's not going to be a part of the tour, right?
No. The seminar is just mindset. So
yeah, just mindset.
My website is nolabelstour.com.
Okay.
So you can go on nolabelstour.com, get familiar with what the tour is. My Instagram is _THE smart guy THESMART GUY_. My cell phone number is 917-907-3687. That's 917-907-3687. You can holler at me. You can purchase tickets. You can pre-order my book that's about to come.
And what's the name of the book?
Die Broke.
Okay, Die Broke.
Yeah.
Wow, and it's going to be available on all platforms, I'm sure, like all books where books are sold.
Yeah, we making physical copies though. We direct to consumer.
So you're going to be able to go into not what do you call it?
No, you're going to be able to hit my
Barnes
phone.
and Nobles.
No, wait, now we doing Barnes and Nobles. We doing trunk and wheels.
Trunk and wheels, really? So you selling out?
Yeah, of course. Direct to consumer.
So then no stores.
No.
Oh, okay. Because they got to know this. They got to know that.
Yeah, I mean, but people, it is, but to be honest with you, like, I got 4 billion views on TikTok. I got about 7 billion views on YouTube. My face is everywhere. So my audience, they're in tune.
They know that.
So once you post this, like,
I'm sure more people like I follow that probably don't know, all about who the smart guy is. They're gonna be like, where can I get the book?
No, they know me.
Really?
I mean, yeah. Once you take this little clip, whatever clip y'all take, and y'all put on your Instagram reel, you're gonna get probably 2 million views, and people are like, that's just how it's going.
Oh, okay.
I've been working over 10 years on my grind. So.
And how long have you been on social media?
I've been on social media for a long time, over 10 years.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, I've been grinding. So it ain't been like, I get it. Look, I did DSN radio when this was in the Bronx.
Oh, wow. That's a long time ago then, right?
Yeah, I mean, and I was talking one in the hood. They had the whole, on the back, they had a big rooftop, had the dark-skinned lady. The dark-skinned lady we had a little scuffle in the cypher joint.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, I've been grinding for a minute.
Wow.
And I've been talking the same way.
That's good. This shows
no.
That's
So
who you
so
are.
what I'm saying is like I feel like a lot of artists sometimes they don't understand the marathon of it all, right? So when I say people know me, they do, but it's backed by 10 years
Got
of
you.
work. I mean,
Yeah,
so
definitely. Well, I want to thank you, Smart Guy, for
sure.
coming through, for dropping us this knowledge. It was definitely, I mean, wow, it was empowering for sure.
Yeah, maybe.
So I thank you so much for dropping by and bringing us this information. And we're going to keep up with you in that tour and the next tour that you're going to get ready to start for sure. Definitely. Thank you.
You found the new Party 1019, New York's #1 for throwbacks.